because of, the earth status of many Nigerians. Maybe I should say this. Many people walk on the streets of this country of a truth, but many people are dejected, many people are frustrated. And so some persons will say, of a truth, Nigerians are working on the street, but in the real sense of it, they are not living. Now, according to data, life expectancy in Nigeria was put at, I think for male 55.4 and for female I think 56 or thereabout. Now Nigeria in terms of life expectancy ranks 178th across the world. Now the question that comes to mind is, on what will Nigeria actually rank good? So take anything. What is it that Nigeria ranks the best in the world? Educationally, in terms of earth, talk of anything. Nigeria is not faring any good, and this is a source of worry to many Nigerians. Now, our medical doctors and earth practitioners, they are leaving the shores of this country. Why are they leaving? Now, they will tell you it's in search of greener pasture. Now, what do they mean by greener pasture? Imagine a medical doctor who is earning, okay, maybe a sum of 250,000, 300,000 in Nigeria being paid, okay, over 1.5 million naira elsewhere. And so for this reason, these doctors are leaving. Now, medical doctors will tell you it is hypocritical for the doctors to say, oh, we are the only ones leaving. Reports and investigation has shown that the number of nurses that are leaving the shores of this country in recent time is even more than that of the doctors. You recall that some time ago, Saudi Arabian government had to come to carry out recruitment exercise in Nigeria. It took the Nigerian government to win a big stake before that would stop, okay? Now, as if that is not enough, in 2022, it will interest you that on Thursday, December the 30th, 2021, President Muhammadu Buhari presented the budgetary proposal for year 2022, and a sum of 17.1 trillion naira was presented for this fiscal year 2022. It will interest you to know that only a sum of 724 billion naira was allocated to earth. Now we are complaining that we are not productive. Now let's narrow it down to where we are going today, as if all of this are for us to deal with. There is this rivalry between these medical and health practitioners that are left. Okay, we talked earlier on about the fact that these ones are living in droves. You have the physiotherapists living, you have the nurses living, you have the medical doctors living. Now, as we speak, a doctor is to take care of over 10,000 Nigerians. That is risky, isn't it? But who cares? That is what comes to mind. Now, as if all of these problems aren't just enough for us, the little number of, or the few of them that are left in our hospitals, especially tertiary hospitals, are engulfed and they get engaged in this supremacy battle. And whether we like it or not, it is becoming pronounced on daily basis. How do we solve this? This is the question that comes to mind. And so on the program today, we want to dig hospitals, patients who have to go to hospitals. Who are these patients? Nigerians, of course. Now, I give you an instance. Immediately, President Muhammadu Buhari was voted in before he was sworn in. Under the aegis of, was it NOAP at that time? I've forgotten. Now, there was a press conference in which the health practitioners in Nigeria requested for the slot of the Minister of Earth. They appealed to President Muhammadu Buhari because to them, other health practitioners, apart from medical doctors, in Nigerian hospitals, especially the tertiary of the media's imagination.
Well, I won't say it's a figment of the media.
Okay, we're going to be looking at these other reasons, but you're admitting that there is this pronounced rivalry. Now, medical doctors will tell you, we took the Hippocratic Oath because people are dying as a result of this rivalry and all of that, but it takes investigation to reveal this. Many a times, health practitioners, medical practitioners would deny the fact that this rivalry is causing deaths of Nigerians in our hospitals. But the reality or the truth is that all of these things happening amongst these two professional bodies claim the lives of Nigerians. For instance, at the University College Hospital Ibadan, a few weeks back, it was said that because a resident doctor had this nasty encounter with one of their strike, and according to the doctors, that was perhaps the fourth time such would be happening within spate of no time, as it were. And so the only thing they had to do was to embark on that particular strike. So Nigerians are dying as a result of this rivalry, amongst of this rivalry.
Well, thank you. Let me quickly say that it even goes beyond doctors, health professionals. Like the one you pointed to has nothing to do with health professionals. It was even between a doctor and an accountant. An accountant. So the major cause is the government.
The government?
Yes.
How?
Because when you have so many children and you choose one as your favorite, no, you have created chaos in the family.
What do you suggest?
I suggest fair treatment to every stakeholder.
So are you saying that the government favors the medical doctors than other?
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. See, FK is a teamwork. Imagine you have a team and you believe the goalkeeper is the main man and you are taking good care of him, leaving others to their fate. Then the team cannot work together as a team. So the major cause is the government policies, and the like.
Okay, so an average medical doctor will tell you that with the way the health sector is designed in Nigeria, a medical doctor is to give instruction. Now, the medical doctor is expected to lead, but you don't want to take to that.
Thank you. You mentioned the other time, you said they are the ones that took Hippocratic oaths. See, every professional in the health sector took one oath or the other. And every oath is very important. Are you following me, please? Now, you look at government policies now. There's what we call a professional indemnity insurance. I do indemnity insurance. A doctor does, the physiotherapist does. What does that mean? It means if there's any injury to your patient due to your negligence, there's a cover. So they deduct my money to subscribe to that insurance. If it's only about the doctor, I shouldn't be subscribing to insurance because you can say the patient has nothing to do with me. But we all, in one way or the other, at one time or the other, have something to do with the patient. We co-own the patient. Just like footballers in the football field co-own the ball. It will end up in someone's head, leg at a point in time, then another person's leg at a point in time. Same goal, same objective. So it doesn't matter, someone holds the ball with his hand, another places with his leg, another with his head. What's important is we want to score.
You know, investigation has shown that one of the reasons why we have this challenge, or challenges as it were, in our hospitals is the fact that other health practitioners don't want to see a doctor as the boss. Whereas you would be told that the way Nigerian health sector is structured is such that, like I was having a conversation with a medical doctor, precisely a resident doctor, and he said that even having spent 20-25 years in hospital, a physiotherapist might have spent more time in the hospital, and a resident doctor may just come, into the system few years back, let's say 3 years back. The way the health sector is structured is that the resident doctor dictates what happens, to such a physiotherapist. Is that so? Is that not true?
That's not true at all. Who is a resident doctor to start with? He's a trainee who is supposed to be trained by all of us.
But these are the ones that give prescription. These are the ones that the patients
They give prescription not to other professionals, to the patients. The the patients don't.
The first.
They see the man at the gate first, followed most likely by those who will register them. That's the health information managers.
But that has nothing to do with the operations.
Then the patient shouldn't know. So you won't go to them first. And on getting needed help, someone to help him, refer to the radiography, the laboratory, ECG, and the like.
Without the medical doctor,
he needed someone's help.
Without a medical doctor, is it possible for all other health professionals to, do anything?
See, like I told you the other time, it is a group, it's a teamwork. Same way, it is not possible for the doctor to do anything reasonable without other professionals. Let the nurses go on strike and let's see how the hospital will function. Let's have all the doctors, double their number, and let's see how the hospital will function. Let there not be the laboratory. And the laboratory, you want to know what's wrong with the patient, you send the patient to the laboratory. You are treating, you want to know the effect of the treatment on the patient, you send the patient to the laboratory. If you don't have all this, you are doing guesswork. If you don't have all this, you are killing your patient gradually. If I have time, I will expatiate on this. It may be as if the doctor is doing something when he does his guesswork and the patient is getting treated. But at times, you are using a hammer to kill a mosquito. It has its own side effect, which is more serious than what you have done.
So when President Muhammadu Buhari came on board, I said, so the fact that the president did not accede to your request, what does it suggest?
Oh, it suggests a lot. It suggests Nigeria is not ready for the much desired change. And the doctors have been heading the ministry for how long? What have we achieved? See, in all the clamors, they have been sinking the boat of Nigeria. See, look at NAFDAC. Nobody will deny the fact that NAFDAC was at its best at the time of Professor Mrs. Dora Akunyili of blessed memory. Was he a doctor? He was a pharmacist. And after the enemy started raising issues of it has to be a doctor, I'm touched. But when you say it has to be a doctor, and they are not ashamed of saying it, even with the fact that we've been having these doctors and it's getting worse.
Let's talk about what is obtainable in other developed countries of the world. If you get to the United States, for instance, you get to the United Kingdom, you look at, in the United Kingdom, for instance, the health insurance is one, a subsector that is not taken lightly. A medical doctor is in charge. But let's look at what operate Saudi Arabia, Egypt, India, and some of these other countries.
Yes. Let's look at, for example, our law, the law that established our teaching hospitals. It was twisted to say you have to be a medical doctor before you can.
It was twisted.
Twisted.
This is an allegation.
Yes.
By who?
By the Ministry of Health. It was twisted by the Ministry of Health to mean that you have to be a medical doctor before you can be the CMD of a teaching hospital. But for example, in the UK, you just have to have a university degree in administration for you to be the chief medical director. Or you study any course in the health sector, physiotherapy, medical lab, health information management, and the like, then with masters in administration. You must have administrative education. But in Nigeria, you just have to be a doctor. Go and look at the duties of the...
It's me to the question, institutions. Do tertiary institutions in Nigeria, do they make money? Are they expected to? Is it a revenue generating sector?
Yes, they are expected to make money, but they are not expected to make profit. They should generate revenue, but not to generate profit. So that is it. Because you want to generate profit, Nigerians cannot really pay for healthcare.
Nigerians cannot pay?
Yes. So
Nigerians are paying.
They are paying. What they are paying is not what they should pay their if the health sector is to make profit, if they are to generate profit, maybe they should be paying like times 10 of
No, some
whatever.
persons will not take that from you.
But that is the bitter truth.
So with this burden on Nigerians, you're still saying they are not paying as much as they ought to.
Yes, no, not as they ought to. No, don't misquote it, sir. As they ought to means that I am saying they should pay more. No. Even the little they are paying, if the government can waive it, I'll be happy. But I am saying, I'm putting a condition. If those hospitals are to be making profit, which is supposed not to be, but if they are to be making profits, then they will be paying more.
Okay, so let's.
I'm sure they are not. Just
and
look
so
at cost of this alone.
They are paying through their noses.
But they are not paying up to 1/10 of what they should pay if they are to make profits. I am sure
healthcare delivery is cheap in Nigeria.
I won't say that. It isn't. Because even the little they are paying, I know they are not finding it convenient.
The standard practice. In the United Kingdom, for instance, have you seen Britons? Do they pay more than Nigerians when you compare? Okay, because the impression majority of Nigerians have is that this should be subsidized, and you are claiming that that is what is happening presently. But some persons have had no cause to visit the tertiary institutions, maybe where this subsidy really is at the state level. It's really not palatable. This is a source of worry to the people. You know, what led us to this is the fact that our
10% of what they should have paid had it been that those hospitals are to make profits. Meanwhile, even what they are paying, they pass through pain to pay it. So, I would say if the country is better off, if the country is better economically, it's possible that they don't pay anything. It's government hospital, and it's the duty of the government to provide health care.
Okay.
And that people are not paying for health care does not mean those hospitals will not generate revenue. They can still generate revenue.
Okay, I will request the transmission director to help us put the phone line out so that the people can be part of the program as we continue with the program. Okay, that's the studio line for you to call. Let's get to hear from you what your experience is talking about Nigerian health sector. Let's get to hear from you. That's the number for you to call. Now, Mr. Olabankwe, there is this allegation against health practitioners in our hospitals. A cross-section of Nigerians will argue that Nigerian health practitioners, the nurses, the physiotherapists, apart from the medical doctors, they are saucy in line of duty. They are not as friendly as they ought to be. You want to put up a defense?
Oh, well, I won't really put up a defense, but I would rather say it's a kind of generalized statement, and it shouldn't be.
Is it a generalized statement? When it's becoming recurring, and when people are having this experience from different professionals?
Well, it doesn't really matter, but it can be everywhere.
Especially the nurses. And just complain about the way they are being treated. Okay?
Let me say this.
Okay.
You don't know why you can say the nurses. It's because they are the ones that stay with the patients for long. The doctor will come and go. They will go to the lab and get their tests done, have their results, and the like. But when it comes to the nurses, they spend much time with the nurses, and you need to see them. They do a lot of work. Now, being saucy or whatsoever, I want you to know, taking care of the sick is not an easy task. But notwithstanding, that's not an excuse for being saucy or whatsoever. It's an individual, what do I call it? It's personal. It's about your makeup. It's not a general thing. So it's better to say, don't just say nurses. You see some nurses who you be like you have met an angel on the ground. I've once been a patient for about 3 months in the hospital. Of course, I saw a few that were saucy,
right?
But a good number were like angels to me. and I can't forget their name, even since 1982, when I didn't even know whether I would work in the health sector or not. So, and I also want you to know that even those who are going to the hospital, especially the patient's relatives, they have their own stress on them that may make them to be maybe...
So they transfer...
Yeah, to be aggressive, and at times a little issue feel offended. So the major issue is that the whole country is so hostile to everybody that you already have your aggression.
Of the 2022 budgetary allocation, okay, is meant for Earth. What does that mean? Some persons will tell you budgetary allocation is different from actual release. So 4.2% of the entire budget, is that small? Is that okay, considering the peculiarity of the Nigerian economy? What do you think should be done better? Now, this rivalry between medical practitioners and health practitioners in our hospital, have you ever been a victim? What do you have to say? What do you want the government and of course these professionals to improve on? The number for you to call is there on your television screen, but please, when you call in, endeavor to turn down the volume of your television set so that we can have a conversation. Let's get to hear from you. Nigeria is not productive, and some persons will say that is the reason why this economy in Nigeria is what it is today. What can be done differently? Let's get to hear from you. I have with me the NWAP chairman here in Oyo State, Mr. Olabanpe Oladayo. Okay, so moving forward, solving this problem, what do you think should be done differently? Let's start with the management of tertiary institutions, our health institutions in Nigeria. What are your recommendations?
Well, I recommend that the government should do things a different way.
How?
You can't afford to be doing things the same way and expect a different result. We'll be getting the results we are getting until we try another way. Another way is every player in the team should be well recognized. That is very important. I'm happy about what is going on in the House of Rep now.
What is going on there?
An attempt to...
okay, let's get to here. Hello, good evening. Okay, kindly call us back. Kindly call us back on the program. The number for you to call is right there on your television screen. But please, when you call in, turn down the volume of your television set so that we can have a conversation.
Core competence, and that should be respected and recognized. What a pharmacist can do, a doctor cannot do. It's high time we stopped that deceptive belief of the doctor can do it all. That is not true. If the doctor can do it all, the Ministry of Health will not say you cannot open a pharmacy. Do you know a doctor cannot open a pharmacy? It's not authorized to register a pharmacy because he is not a pharmacist. If he is the one dishing out instruction to others, dishing out instruction to the pharmacist, why is he not licensed to practice pharmacy?
Okay, so there is a text message here that I want us to look at. Now, this person is saying that government is not doing well. The remuneration, okay, this person, the remuneration is poor. Other earth workers, okay, other earth workers. So this person is basically talking about the remuneration. Now you begin to ask yourself, one would think that those in the earth sector belong to the league of those who are well paid in Nigeria. No, of a truth, when you look at, okay, the medical profession, when you look at the earth sector, whether you're a medical a practitioner or you are earth practitioner, one would believe that when you consider their take home at the end of the month with other professionals in Nigeria, these ones belong to the category of those that should be smiling, but they are like Oliver Twist.
Yeah, but are they smiling? It's natural. If things that should make you smile is happening to you, then you smile. Then if you are not smiling, it means it's just a deception.
Okay, so The remuneration is poor. Other earth workers are shabbily treated. Too much workload is making the earth workers to act saucy when you are attending to 100 patients in a shift, whereas you are to see 25 patients. Many things have gone wrong. It is well. Jeshurun. Now, Jeshurun didn't tell us where he's sending this message from. Okay, so you can also send a text message. I forgot to tell us that. Send a text message to that same line, or you call in. Let's know what your take on the subject matter is. But include, in case you're sending a text message, include your location. Let's know the state you're sending this text message from.
So that is part of what I was saying the other time. That, nobody is well paid in the health sector.
Nobody is well paid.
If everyone is well paid, nobody will be. I will compare. Nobody is well paid. If everybody is well paid, no one likes to leave his fatherland and go outside the country. But if the grass is green here, you won't be looking for greener pasture elsewhere. But the grass is not green at all here, not to talk of being greener.
Where is the place of patriotism? Okay, if other professionals in the country, an accountant thinks, okay, I'm not being paid here, let's go to other country. Who would do the job of that accountant in Nigeria? It's a different ballgame when you are comparing maybe the take home in Nigeria with what is obtainable in other countries. But within, let's compare what an average medical doctor or a practitioner earns with what other professionals earn.
It's not about comparing. We need not compare if what I earn here can sustain me here. I need not compare to what is being sustainable. It cannot, for your information. It cannot, because the situation is such that by the time you pay school fee from your pay, that's outside there, basic education is free. That is part of it. So even if you are collecting exactly what you collect here in the foreign country, you will still enjoy it because health is free. So your basic needs are provided for. But here, you are your own power generator. You generate your own power. You are a water corporation on your own. There was a day I was calculating how much can. And someone said we should be drinking about 5 liters of water a day, which is true. Then I calculated a bottle of water is 100 naira. Then it's running to 100,000 naira for a family of 5 to drink water within a month.
Government should practice equity, justice and fairness in the treatment of your team. Olumuyiwa Onafowora from Ibadan, okay, sent that message. Now, you are considering this. I still insist that when you compare, you don't want that comparison.
No, I can compare. Let's compare.
When you compare
what's in it?
Worth a physiotherapist or a pharmacist collects, of course, it's good for you to negotiate for more pay. You want more. You look at what others are getting. You begin to wonder, how come these ones are just insatiable?
It is because they are not in their shoe. You know, when you are looking at something from afar off, you think it's that desirous, it's that delicious. Until you have a taste, you have a bite, then you will understand what's there. Go to UCH, for example. How many can afford to buy a Tokumbo car without obtaining a loan? Tokumbo car, I'm not talking about brand new, without obtaining a loan. How many can send their children to a private school without getting a loan? How many is living today without one loan or the other hanging on his neck?
Is it that bad? Okay, so I do say that the picture, the mental picture that Nigerians have is totally different from what is obtainable.
It's seriously different, but it's those who wear the shoe that know where it pinches, and the shoe is pinching seriously. You are looking at them from afar off, and okay. Let me tell you this: just about last month, a good number of staff, IPPIS has to stop paying them. They said they were having too much loan on their neck. Why won't they have loans on their neck? They have to pay their children's school fees. Just like there's no higher institution any longer. You can see as you go on strike today, go on strike tomorrow, so you want to put your children in private school. If not, if they start 100 level in government university, when someone will have died before they graduate. So you put them in private university, that one you pay through your nose. What do you want to do in Nigeria that you will not struggle financially? So no matter how much you collect, you still struggle. It cannot take you home. That is just it. So, but someone who is not there will just be looking at it. They are well paid. Okay, how much are they paid? How much is it that we are saying they are well paid?
Now, doctors should see all the members of the healthcare team as professionals in their own calling and treat them with due respect. Okay, that's from an anonymous. Okay, from Ibadan. I'm Akioba Musa Gani, presently in Yola, Nigeria. Why do we suffer lack of neurologists in Nigerian hospitals? Okay, that's a question coming all the way from Yola. Akioba Musa Gani, presently in Yola. Okay, I guess some persons have been trying to call in. Now, if you are having issues with the network, you can send a text message. Okay, so these are concerns of Nigerians. Why do we have shortage? Or why do we suffer lack of neurologists in Nigerian hospitals? Can you answer that?
In a good number of hospitals, we have neurologists. For example, in usage, we have a good number. But to be sincere, it's a specialty that people hardly go there because it requires you knowing what you are doing before you can come out good. So it's not an common specialty. So we have some specialty like that in the health sector. Even when you talk of physiotherapy, the neuro physiotherapy, 4 left, remaining 5.
Out of 9 left.
What percentage do you call that? It's over 40%. And that is how it is everywhere. Among those 4, we have medical lab scientists, we have radiographers, physiotherapists, and the like. So,
what do you think the government can do to stop the mass movement of these ones?
The government should fix the multifaceted problem we're having.
What are these problems?
It's not just to increase salary. If you increase salary, the university is not working. I still have to pay private university. It's like giving me with the right hand and collecting it back with the left hand. Let everything be working. Let things be okay for us. Even leave the pay the way it is. Let me have light easily. I don't have to burn like 1,000 naira petrol every night. And that would take 30,000 naira away from my pay per month. Let there be water. When we were younger than this, we go out to the tap and fetch water. The water we would drink at home. We fetch inside keg good water that is safe to drink. But now you want to eat if you can. So by the time you combine all these expenses, you know that the way the money is comes in through the right hand side, goes out through the left hand side, and by that everyone's not feeling comfortable in the country.
The economy
is
affecting the health sector too.
It is. Then the security aspect is there. That's a demon. No one feels safe. You want to travel, it's like the husband is traveling, then the wife has to go to mountain to pray, or go on the Akimba to be praying, so that you will go and come back safely. You want to travel just about 50-60 kilometers. You are not sure you will come back. You are not sure that you won't end up being kidnapped. So all those factors are very important.
Today, many healthcare professionals are moving out massively, even more than the medical practitioners. This is a pointer that Federal Ministry of Health is a toxic environment for other healthcare professionals to practice. Omoluabi from Ibadan, okay, sent that message. They're leaving. Okay, we've talked about this. How do we stop their movement? You're saying the economy should be fixed,
Let's
not
address
only the okay.
It's not just increase their
Where
pay.
is the place of patriotism in all of this? Okay, I'm going to stay around because this is my fatherland. Things can only get better here. Is there no place for such consideration?
There is a common saying that when you say I will use my money on this cloth, it turns the owner of the cloth to a madman. Say, this cloth is mine. I paid for it. I must wear it. I must use it for long. Then someone will may become a madman.